let me quickly put it out. When we're talking about audit working paper, we are talking about what the auditor used to document his or her work on the field. It is important for me to say this, especially in this jet age, that audit working paper now does not necessarily mean a physical document. An audit working paper now could be electronic working paper. So that's being said, audit working paper has its character, its feature, before we can say this is a good audit working paper or audit work paper. Audit working paper must have, as a matter of fact and importance, the name of the clients we are using that paper for. Don't forget, when I mean paper, I mean both electronics and otherwise now, and physical. So the name of the client must be on a good audit working paper. The date at which the work was conducted must be on a good audit working paper. Who performed what on the audit assignment must be, that is, the auditor's name or signature must be there. The aspect of audit that was carried out, the audit assignment, maybe is P or L that was carried out, or maybe a checklist of substantive tests on purchases, whatsoever we've carried out must be on that working paper. Of course, the name of the audit firm too, the audit working paper must carry it, and a lot of other features before we can say this is a good working paper. And at the end of the day, a good working paper, one of the quality of a good working paper is equally that it must be signed and attested to by the person that had worked on it. So audit working paper comprises of documents, like I said, records and information, be it electronic or be it on the paper form. So auditor must have come across all this information in the course of his or her work, and all this working paper and information gathered is to one hand to ensure reasonable basis for the expression of our opinion on the financial statement. So that is working paper. And auditing standard. Auditing standard. When we are talking about auditing standard, we are talking about a whole lot of framework that guides the audit profession or audit industry. So auditing standards are localized and also international, like international auditing standard. And under international auditing standard, by the International Auditing Standard Board, has a lot of other standards under it. So it's a framework that guides internationally as auditor. Likewise, also we have local guides on how audits should be executed, and now we'll say it's a local auditing standard. So countries now that have not joined in auditing, international auditing standard or international audit environments, we adhere to the local standard of auditing. Meanwhile, those that have joined, we adhere strictly to international auditing standard. And you know what? Under the framework of international auditing standard, when the local standard of auditing conflicts with the international auditing standard. The localized auditing standard primarily and first of all prevails. That means that as a standard and as a rule internationally, it is expected that if there is a conflict between the local auditing law and standard and the international standard on auditing, the local prevails. But now it does not end there. It is the responsibility of the local authority in the industry of auditing to liaise with those other international bodies to give reasons, especially if the local country is a member of the international body on auditing, to ensure that they let the international body know why do we have this difference and to what extent are we going to ensure alliance with the international auditing standard as soon as possible. So they must try as much as possible where lacuna exists to bridge the gap. First of all, when it was observed, localized one should be complied with, but the local authority on auditing should ensure they quickly, as a matter of urgency, complies with that of the international environment. So that is auditing standard, and we have myriad of auditing standard that guides the profession. So this is Benga Olatunji FCA speaking from GJAMESASSOCIATES. I will quickly recap all we've learnt in this video for the purpose of summary, and also we may need to go, which we are going to, the link we put it under the description, and also we will be able to see it as the end note if you watch throughout to the end. Those ones that we've dealt with, to quickly revise on auditing and your guaranteed sources. We've dealt with audit program, in which we said that audit program is a list of instruction to the audit team to ensure that they are able to carry out the execution of audit assignment without overlooking important areas of the audit assignment. We've spoken about audit reports, in which will let us realize that professionalism demands from us that we should document our work done and we should report back to those that engaged us, and using the vehicle and medium of audit reports, communicate back to the end user of our audited financial statement our opinion as to the truthfulness and fair presentation of the financial statement we had worked on. Audit risk had been discussed, in which will let us know that every audit has a risk, and business world is unique in itself, having risk. And we spoke about detection risk, we spoke about control risk, and we spoke about inherent risk. It is inherent in every business to have risk that could not be dissociated from it, and inherent risk cannot be run away from, we could only manage it. So that is inherent risk. Then we have detection risk, which is the risk that is 100% owned by the auditor, and it's the risk that our audit procedures and process may not discover what it ought to discover, and this may lead us to wrong expression of opinion. So ultimately, auditor needs to be very careful and well guided when it comes to detection risk. Then the control risk is the third part of the audit risk, and we said that the control risk actually belonged to the management of the organization and ensuring there is an internal control in place. And internal control, don't forget, is the whole control system, which may be financial or otherwise, put in place by the management to ensure that the assets of the organization is or are not mismanaged. And when we are talking about the assets of an organization, we are talking about both financial, both human resources and otherwise. So that is control. Also, we had looked at audit sampling, and we said that a sample usually is taken from the population to represent the whole population as a result of time constraint, as a result of resources that we need to put in to get work done on 100%. Majority of the time in audit world, we do carry out sampling, and majority of the time audit is on sampling. Then we make our opinion. So therefore, if a sample is representing the whole population, it is important that the sampling technique should be accurate and be the best that could represent the population. So we made mention of sampling technique, that it could be random sampling, it could be stratified random sampling, it could be hybrid of both. There are a lot of sampling technique that we've mentioned, and that is talking about or summarizing audit sampling. Then we'll talk about audit software, in which we talk about the written programs or instructions encoded for the purpose of audit execution. So we use audit software in audit industry, just like there are so many other software for different industry. We've spoken about audit trail, in which we said that every transaction must leave a trail. Alphabet Z leave a trail of ABC to hit. Likewise, if there's a sales, we are to audit a sales, the audit trail of a sales begins from when the person that want to buy, the customer, approach us and make an inquiry, to when pro forma invoice was given, to when receipt was given, to when the we package the goods or render the service, and even to the extent of customer satisfaction survey conducted on it. So those are trail of a singular transaction. So that is an audit trail in picture. So we talk about audit working paper also, in which we said that audit working paper could be in soft copy and it could be in hard copy. It simply means where we gather the information on the field and put them down, which may be in paper form, which may be electronically organized. So that is audit working paper. And we spoke about audit working paper, the quality of audit working paper, and one of it is that audit working paper must contain the name of the client being that engaged us. It must contain the name of the audit firm. It must contain the name of the person that worked on the working paper. It must contain adequately the dates in which the work was done. Also, it must contain the year in which we are under review. The audit year under review must be there. It must be initialized, that is, the person working on it must have his or her signature on a good working paper, and many other quality of working paper that we would not mention. And all these things that we've said actually are in topics which we've done before. You can search on the James Associate channel and ensure that the keywords you are looking for, and you will find, like when we are talking about audit working paper and audit planning, APM, audit planning memorandum, you will all find them because we've done series of videos on them. Last but not the least, on this video we spoke about auditing standard, and we said that auditing standard are framework that guides auditors and the audit industry, which could be localized or on international basis. So an audit and a country that has joined the international body of auditing must adhere strictly to international auditing standard, while a few countries that are yet to join must ensure their local audit guide and framework are strictly adhered to. So auditing standard are simply guides that the industry has agreed on, that these are the ways we need to approach our work before we can give an independent expression of our opinion to our client onto whether the financial statements adequately represent clearly truthfulness and fair presentation, adhering to every important accounting guide, accounting principles, accounting standards before we can give a clean slate of expression of opinion. If not, audits an auditor will need to qualify the opinion, and we talk about qualification of expression of our opinion in an audit report. Next, we are still on revision. We are going to be looking at some other aspects of auditing keywords, and we'll be explaining it. Like, we are going to be talking about contingencies, we are going to be looking about at continuous audits, we are going to be talking about control activity, we are going to be talking about control risk, we are going to be talking about control environments, and I want to believe you want to join us and learn more about all this control environment, control risk, control activity, contingency, control, continuous audit, and so many more as we revise together auditing, be it advanced audits, be it on the professional level, be it you are just a lover of auditing, or you are an entrepreneur that wants to put control and processes in place for your organization. From GJAMESASSOCIATES channel, Bengal Latunji is my name, FCA. We would love that you subscribe to GJAMESASSOCIATES channel, click the notification button. We are value to life, we are value to your businesses.